start out with your thoughts on the match and on the season.
On the match, I thought good first half. I thought we had a very good first half. Once we sort of figured out what they were doing, and we could sort of counter it. I just thought in the second half what happened was we sort of thought, hey, we've been 2-0 up quite a few times this season, and led teams back into the game, and we didn't keep the ball as well as we should. We didn't really manage it as we should. As for the season, too many ties in the second part of the season. We were just saying, Guti and myself, that there were about 4 of those games we should have come away with a victory, and maybe 2 of those games we were lucky to get the tie to come back. But overall, too many ties. Should have done better in the second half of the season.
Christian, I know you guys waited a long time to pick up your first away win of the season. What did that mean to you guys?
Yeah, it means a lot. We said before the game, if there's a way we want to send off the season, it's how we did it today. I told the interview earlier on Soccer, I don't know whether to be happy with today or disappointed. We could have done that all season and been in a different place. But that's just the reality of the results we've had. If there's a way to go out, it's the way we did it today.
Christian, you were so spectacular. No even a fly could go through the net today. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But I think Guti almost had more saves than me today. He was a spectacular one.
Warren, just a couple thoughts on taking your goal today and preventing a couple on your own net as well.
My goal, I love it. I knew that the keeper is gonna make a rebound, so I tried to be first and the fullback, and I think I did it well. And happy about that. And then it's a team effort, so I tried to help Alex as much as possible. He was mad with me because he wanted to make the save to be the start of the game, but I told him that we can get that kind of risk. I saved.
Steven, did you have to use what happened last time you guys were here as any motivation, or did that come up in your preparation as well?
I don't have to mention that to them. They know, they know. But in all honesty, it's not about me. It's about the club and the players. And today they found the collective effort, offensively and defensively. The way they were blocking the chances. I mean, York had some very good chances that were blocked on the line by Guti, and I think one by Shaq. And that's the kind of effort that you need to win games. And I think Christian said it best. It's one of those things where you start thinking to yourself sometimes, where was that when you needed it to get victories and be higher up the standings.
Steven, would a different playoff structure have changed your approach this season?
No, I think we were in a situation very early in the season where we had a lot of injuries. Guti was out for quite some time. We had a lot of injuries, and we had to adapt the team differently from what we wanted to do. And by the time everybody got healthy, we just sort of stuck with the way we were playing, because we felt that was best going to serve us with what we had. I kind of like the league split in 2 seasons. I mean, he would like it to be a little more balanced, of course, but I think it was unique. And of course, now we're going to see something that it's a final. It's not teams that came 5th being in a playoff. We have a final between the 2 teams that deserve to play each other in a final. So I kind of like that. I'm looking forward to seeing the final.
And what have you learned from the first game over on Vancouver Island to this point, closing out your inaugural season? What's one thing that's kind of stuck with you throughout the season?
One thing. I learned so much. Because I didn't know, I knew Christian from the time he was, but I didn't know a lot of the players, and formulating a team from scratch, same problem that Jimmy would have. And then I didn't know what the league would look like. I knew what maybe Calgary would look like. I knew what Forge would look like. But the rest of the teams, I was not sure. Of course, I had an idea what Edmonton would look like as well. So you start putting the pieces together, but I didn't know how my team would look, how they would react. I didn't know the mentality of the players. It was all, everything was such a learning experience. But if it's the one thing I learned is that with the injuries, we were in a situation where we had to design the team differently and play differently than I usually like my teams to play. And what was good about that was that the players did everything to try and to fit into that understanding this is what we need to do.
Would you be all for, like I noticed you've come to town, haven't got a full roster, and it's happened other times in the year, and other teams, even York, they go out west and they don't have a full roster either. Would you be all in favor of maybe having, maybe not, I don't know, increasing the salary cap, but just like maybe 3 or 4 extra roster spots to, or call in players quicker?
We had a 15-day road trip right at the beginning of the season, which we had to play the league and the cup, and we traveled with 18 players. Then the club allowed us to travel with 18 players, and it made a bit of a it did make a bit of a difference in the rest, the recovery and the rotation. But at the end of the day, in order to play in this Canadian League, we knew we would have to do a lot of traveling. Being a Halifax team, we're going to have to do a lot of traveling. So we knew that from the very beginning, and I think adapting to that, it was and remains our biggest obstacle. So to answer your question, maybe if we could travel with 18, but you know, I'm not going to cry about it. If the club says you travel with 16, then so be it.
Guti, any special message that you got from the coach on the first half? Because we see you everywhere.
You mean before the first half? Or
No, on the first half, because we see you moving everywhere. Like you got a lot of energy.
No, just he gave us the opportunity to think in the field and move wherever we think we have the spaces. So we feel free to play our game. And that's good for us, for the players that like to move, to think, to get in the ball. It's good for us, you know, because we have the liberty to play.
Any more questions? Thanks, guys.